Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. And there's Puppy, and here's the new shop dog, Nikki. I think her real name was Kiki, but I call her Nikki and she comes. She could be way over on the other side of the property, and I just gotta yell her name, she comes right back. She's trying to get used to the property here, just walking around the perimeter quite a bit, knowing where the boundaries are, chasing the cats. Now I'm making this before I posted the last video, which was putting the wheels on, and so you know, I can't see no comments or nothing. It ain't even posted yet, but she hasn't killed any cats. She just likes to chase them. In fact, she just had a chance to grab one, and she didn't. She just wanted to chase it. They live under the house. See, she's looking in the hole there. One was sticking. It was a little slow getting there, and she could have nabbed it. There's another one there in the tree. So I don't think she wants to kill it. She just likes to thrill of the chase. So don't worry about the cats. They're just gonna have to come out at night. I leave some food out for them. There it is, up the tree again. They'll be fed and everything, but they're just gonna have to come out at night like most outside cats, and hopefully kill the mice if there's any left. I don't think there's any mice or squirrels on this property, guys. Not because of these 5 cats, but there's other stray cats on the other side of the property, and there used to be squirrels running around in these trees up here and everything, but oh, she's chasing. I think she's going after the other dogs barking over there. Okay, so anyway, last video, we got the wheels and tires on here. I think they look pretty good. I like to go a little bit smaller on the front, but we got to worry about that oil pan. You know, should I have done it different, put on the smaller oil pan? I don't know. I just didn't want to spend the money, you know. I tried to save a couple of grand on this build by not buying the Holley harness and the Holley oil pump and whoever knows what else Holley would recommend putting on there. I just saved a couple of grand by just getting it in there and running, and using everything from the truck, harness, gauges, everything like that. So everything's going to work just as well as a Holley and everything, but yeah, we're not going to be able to you know, race tune it or whatever for races. So I don't know how good this is going to be for drag and drive events, guys, but I'll probably just go on a few to just for the trip, you know, and see how it is. I'm probably not going to run very fast, but I sure don't want to embarrass myself. You know, there's one guy on there, he went to his first one and come in last place, and he was all happy about it. I don't want to come in last. I don't even want to come in nowhere near last. It'd be kind of embarrassing, especially being on YouTube. So anyway, as far as making it race ready, like as race as I could get it, it's not going to be there for a while. It's going to be on the road here pretty, well, not pretty soon, but soon. I don't know a timeline yet. We got a lot of paint and body work to do. But as far as race stuff, yeah, I could have made just, you know, I was trying to focus on making it lightweight, like put aluminum rims instead of the steel rims, fiberglass hood, cowl hood instead of a steel hood, which I'm still going to do. But and then, you know, weight wise, I shouldn't have probably put them storage boxes on there. Those things probably 50 pounds. So it's not as light as it could be, guys. But anyway, we'll get to that maybe next year as more of a race car, and you know, put in. It's just got the open differential. It's a 12 bolt though. I put a 12 bolt in, so you know, you need a good posi. You know, stuff like that. You know, I went a little bit Put the disc brakes on the front, better stopping power, stuff like that. But anyway, I couldn't go full, you know what I mean? Not yet anyway. Maybe next year. Right now the goal is to get it running. Oh, it's running. Running and driving on the road. Tagged, insured, all that, and getting it dependable like a daily driver type car, and driving around for a while. Definitely be going on Hot Rod Power Tour this year. It's June, I think it's June 14th, and they just listed the dates. It is Atlanta, starts in Atlanta, then goes to South Carolina, North Carolina, and then Tennessee, Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee is where it ends up. So if y'all you haven't heard, you heard it here first. That's the route. Don't know what the temperature is going to be in the middle of June, but last year it was hot as hell, real hot. So yeah, probably the last thing we're going to do on this is get this AC working. Definitely got to get it working this year. Got to go in kind of comfort. It wasn't very good going last year, and the Nova was so friggin' hot. Wasn't too bad on the highway with the windows down, but puppy was hot. She was hot, not liking it too much. And I don't know, now I got Nikki here. I don't know about bringing 2 dogs. Not even supposed to really bring dogs. There was a few people there with dogs, but on, you know, leashes walking around, but I don't know. Nikki's pretty hyper. She'll probably I'll get her to calm down by then, but okay, so that's the goal, guys. Hot Rod Power Tour for sure, middle of June. It's going to be done a lot sooner than that. If I have to give you a timeline, it's probably a couple of months. I'm going to be taking my time with the paint. We're going to have to paint it all black, and then the flame job. So all the black's got to dry for probably a couple of weeks, and then we can mask it off and do the red, orange, and yellow flames, tape all that off, and then you know, the only way to do it right is to clear it all. So we're gonna like clear the front end of it. So I don't know, it may age different or whatever, with clear front half clear, back half enamel. And no, I'm not going to clear the whole car. I really don't like clear that much. I'd rather use this straight urethane enamel. 2K. Okay, so that's the plan. I'll give you a timeline, maybe a couple of months, depending on right now it's 75 degrees out, January 16th, and believe it. Just got to get through. It looks pretty good for the next week. They only go a week in the forecast ahead, so it's, you know, 50, or yeah, I think the lowest is going to get is 55 or something by the end of the week, which is considered a cold snap, kind of. So really just got to get through February. You never know what's going to happen. Once you pick past February, it's perfect. So yeah, and keep on working. Okay, it doesn't quite look like it, but I've been clearing out all this stuff. Got rid of all the Nomad and Chevelle brake drums, front end parts, everything like that. I just stuck them right here. Okay, and just dumped some other exhaust stuff here I was using. I'm gonna round up a good 15-inch tire for this. This was the spare out of one of my other cars. Yeah, I can move. Anyway, the goal is to get all this cleared out from this bay here. This is where we're gonna paint it. It'll be a while before we paint it. I'm gonna do all the body work and stuff outside, because I don't want to keep moving it in and out, in and out, in and out. I just like working outside. People say, oh, clean out your garage and work inside. Nah, I don't know what it is, guys. I guess it's like claustrophobia or something. I just can't be in a shop, especially with the doors down. and stuff. So yeah, and I started cleaning out the shop. Got a bunch of crap here, burned a bunch of cardboard boxes. This is all the Nomad stuff here, little bits and pieces I might have to use. We'll go over the computer and stuff. Here's a box with a fuse block and the computer, stuff I might need. But I'm almost at the point where I'm done, and all this stuff can be put away probably in that mobile home. I kind of use that as a shed. So once we get it completely done, everything buttoned up, I can get rid of the rest of this stuff. Yeah, and you know, the seat put in. Here's the hood hinges, battery tray, molding, stuff like that. And then it's gonna be painted right here. So we'll clean out all this area here, move everything. Okay, so I have been cleaning quite a bit. Got a lot more to go. Okay, so what are we going to do this episode? Well, first off, we're going to paint these wheel wells. This is pour 15. I pour 15 these wheel wells. They were just completely rust, like surface rust type stuff. But you can see it's kind of shiny on the bottom because it's been sitting like this on the ground over here. And pour 15 is not UV resistant. So don't ever use pour 15 is great stuff, but don't ever use it where it's going to be exposed to the sun, or else it'll fade out. Okay, so we're going to put some, I just bought a gallon of paint, black paint for this. We're going to mix some up and paint, we're going to paint the inside and then the outside, just a couple of coats on each. And then I'll have to let it dry overnight, and we're going to put the wheel wells in. So I'll go over what we need to put in. Need to put these AC lines here, kind of stick them up towards here, because they're going to have to be made special something to be made to them. But anyway, we got to get this. This is for the old AC compressor. I think there's another wire down there for something. This was off the truck harness for the windshield washer. Or no, I think it was for, was it for this? No, this one's connected. This one's connected there. I think this is the windshield washer level thing, which is another thing we're gonna have to hook up in here. There's a windshield washer jug. I'll just grab one off a junk car with a pump and connect it up to my new wiper motor, and it should work with the switch. So we'll have to do that. Okay, we're gonna mount this up as high as we can. Probably should get the hood first. That's going up in here somewhere. We got the box that came with this cold air intake kit. It's more of a deflector to keep the engine heat here away from it. So once we get this situated, we'll build the box in there. I got it. See, that's another thing that's in here too, is that I don't want to, you know, scatter stuff around, then I don't know where everything is. I spend more time looking for stuff, so that's why the shop's kind of messy, guys. I got all the little headlight bezels and crap here, and bolts and nuts, and just brake lines and everything. So, you know, people say, clean the shop, clean the shop. Well, so anyway, that's on this side. That's what's going to be all connected, and make sure the wheel well fits. I may have a problem with this AC line here. We're going to have to see where that fits. We may have to cut that and build a rubber hose from there to there or something. I don't know yet. But we got to make the wheel well fit. If that hose is too in the way, we're going to have to cut it or bend it or something. Okay, that's that side. Okay, this side here is, you know, somebody mentioned with the truck harness, you're putting, what, 20 pounds of potato in a 5-pound bag? Yeah, well, everything fit under the dash. So, if that's the case, everything's going to fit here. So we got, we have to build well, I got a new battery tray. That's over here too. Battery tray originally was on that side. We're putting it on this side. May have to screw it, weld it, something in here after the wheel well's in. Well, before we really put the wheel wells in and tighten it up, we gotta make sure this front end is perfectly level or perfectly square. And how you do that is you measure. You can measure from here. I'll have to rig up something. If you're in a body shop, you got those frame things that stick up with a bar across. So you measure from here to here, or you can measure from like this bolt hole. Well, do them all. Measure from this bolt hole to that end, that corner, whichever spots. And then you can get a center point here if you want and measure. But basically what we want is this thing to be perfectly squared up, this front end. And all we got to do is loosen these bolts and move it over if it isn't. That's how you usually do it. Now I got real close tolerances here. You know, with that radiator, there isn't much room. See, so I can't go too far, but hopefully that's dead on. We don't know yet. So we'll measure that. We'll measure it to the, you know, the corner here, or this hole, probably this hole here, or that one, that one, that one. And we'll exit out. Okay, I'll probably do that first before I mount them wheel wells. That way I can tighten everything up. I got new bolts and nuts for the wheel wells. Okay, so once we get that done, mount the battery tray over here. Mount this fuse block. And this is from the truck. And then it goes in underneath the dash. And then in that bag down there is a computer. We'll find a place for the computer. I don't know if I'll put it side by side. Put the fuse block here and the computer here, something like that. And then we'll see if we can, this is the cruise control. We'll probably hook that up. It's only a couple of bolts. We'll probably find a space for that. Okay, so I think that's all on this side, other than we still got to bleed the brakes. I think I did check the wheel well. The brake lines that I made are not in the way. I think I could probably get at them if I got to double flare them, because I never did double flare them or anything, and I haven't bled them yet. So I'll bleed them, check for leaks, and that's going to take a while, and do all that. And then really that's really it mechanically on it. Everything will be buttoned up. Everything should be working except for the AC. And then I'll get the hood one day and put that on there. And bumpers will go on after it's painted. But I can get this one bumper. See this? That's why this stuff is laying around here. That's the old hood hinges. This bracket here on the passenger side was welded onto the frame, but it lined up to the hole. So I don't know, they didn't have a nut and bolt and just welded it. Not very much. It's a couple of spot weld type things. Anyway, this is the bumper. We're probably going to use it, steel wool it and use it. It's not bad. I think most of this will steel wool off. I may buy new lenses. Don't need them though, because of these headlights have the directional signals in them. They got little right here, and I got it hooked up where you turn the signals and it flashes. Don't need them ones down here in the bumper, but we can either put them in there or maybe look for some fog lights to put in there or something. Anyway, we may do that. Get a 415 that bracket, well, 415 both brackets, and mount that bumper. And just to fit it, yeah, we'll have to 415 this bracket, and I usually 415 the inside of the bumper too if it's rusty. I don't know, we'll check this. Yeah, we'll probably blow it out, 415 it black. Okay, so we'll probably do that. Mount that bracket on here. I'm probably missing I don't know. I'll have to round up a chrome bolt there, mount that on there, fit it on there, make sure it's going to go on. You don't want to be screwing around after it's painted trying to jam something in there. We want it to fit nice and perfect. So we got that to do. And then we'll just take it off and paint it. And then, well, we can do this later. We got, the only major thing is it was hit back here. And I pulled a lot of it out when I put the quarter panel patch right here. But it needs to be pulled, I think, right in here. And we're going to take out the rear bumper. And all that stuff I put under there is I still have access to the bumper brackets. So whenever we start to do the body work, we're going to pull this rear bumper off and do this ass end first. That's the only major body work. Other than that, it's well, we'll go over it when we get there. There's enough rambling on that. Okay, so yeah, that'll be it pretty much. And then I just got to finish the console. I went over that in another video. We're going to button up this console, join these two halves together, get everything in there. I got cigarette lighters, I got power supplies, I got an ashtray. That's all coming. We're going to build that in the console, probably cover the sides, get all that done, and then we can mount the seat. And then that's it for the interior. And then all you got to worry about is that cruise control. And other than that, I think that's it. So yeah, once all that's done, then we'll start the paint and body. So anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes and we'll spray a little paint on these wheel wells and get started with it. And then I'm going to clean up some more stuff here. These are the old tires off the Nomad. They were just on there for rollers. I'll just put them up for another car. Save them. I got some tires there to put away. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay guys, we're doing a little painting with my cheap Harbor Freight gun. Yeah, this is the passenger side. This was all mangled up. So yeah, probably gonna have to hammer and dolly this edge here, but worry about that when the time comes. I also got them hood hinges to paint, but we're gonna may do that if I got enough paint left over. She's gonna dry quick, but I'm gonna put on one more coat. She'll dry quick, but better be safe than sorry to let it dry overnight. And this is the paint here. I just bought, went up a lot in price. But the other video I explained when I bought it, and that's what I'm painting the whole car with. So, okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, getting near the end of the day. The stuff's already dry, but we're gonna wait till tomorrow to put it on. I did paint the hood hinges. I got the original springs, but when you buy a fiberglass, put on a fiberglass hood, they say to use another spring, less tension. So we'll figure that out. That's why I didn't paint the springs or put them on, because you don't want to snap a fiberglass hood in half. Okay, I went ahead and took the fuel tank off again and run the ground and the gas gauge all the way up to the second fuel gauge there in my console. So see, now this one come around again, my truck one. I don't have the battery hooked up, but sometimes this screws up. I'm pretty sure it's just because it's GM and they all do that, but anyway, there's no chance of taking this out unless you take the whole friggin' thing apart again. I mean, it's kind of zip tied and stuff in there. There's no use of replacing this. So, and that gauge was for the aftermarket aluminum tank, which had its own gauge anyway. So I hooked up its own gauge. I believe it's to this one, and then this one's to the factory side tank. So I'll have two fuel gauges there, both tanks. Maybe this one will work, maybe it won't. You don't need it though. Okay, so I did that, wired that up. I welded those exhaust cutouts. Not very many people watch that video. I don't know why. Maybe it's bad thumbnail. But you go back if you want to see these exhaust cutouts. I put a link in the description. So you can see the welds I did there and there. What I'm going to do is I bought some of this header paint. It's good to 2,000 degrees. They didn't have black, so this comes out like a silver. So I'm going to paint all them on both sides with that. Okay, then this bracket here, these side pipes come with these big self-threading bolts, but this one came loose because I had to move this one back or forward about an inch, and anyway, it came out. So I had to weld this bracket here to the rocker, put in a weld there and a weld over here. So even if it comes loose, it's not going to go anywhere. So, but yeah, I'm going to paint those so they don't rust. And I think that'll be it for today. Tomorrow we'll get these wheel wells hooked up and hooked in, and everything mounted to it. Hopefully I can get all that done tomorrow. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay guys, sure is a lot easier taking it out than it is putting it back in. Anyway, got this wheel well in, got all the bolts in there, and I'm running out of them new bolts. I bought a pack of 25 bolts and nuts, but I used a bunch of them bolts. Probably got enough of these to the other side, but anyway, probably those old ones are just nasty. I think I used a bunch here and to bolt this on. Okay, so anyway, I got the wheel well in. Now kind of hard to see what we got going on here, but I got the battery tray here. We're gonna have to modify that to fit in here somewhere. Computer's here, and then this is the main thing here. that's gonna have to go. Yeah, just kind of probably gonna have to cut off this bottom piece here. And anyway, this is the box for it here. It's gonna have to be modified. That's a lid. Definitely want a lid on there. So we're definitely gonna have to have that on to attach the lid. So this will have to be cut up too. I'm gonna have to cut it off here. Okay, so we got that, and then the computer goes into this somehow, if I can remember right. Okay, so gonna get all that and all this in here somewhere. Yeah, it can go over to here too. It can't be too close to the engine because it'll get too much heat. And then this is the original wiring here, which we don't need. That's kind of out of the way. A bunch of this other wiring here too. Have to rearrange everything. Okay, so let me come back when I get all this arranged the way I want it. I did X it out. It X'd out within about 1/8 of an inch, so that's good. I did it from the bolt to here, like I said before, and this is within 1/8 of an inch. Most likely going to get that fiberglass cowl hood. It's going to be aftermarket. They usually don't fit great. Sometimes they do, so we'll wait till we get that hood, and then all we have to do is loosen these two nuts and bolts right here, as I showed you, and we can move it 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch or whatever it needs, and to line up with the hood, and then that's it. So yeah, everything, all that lined up. That means the frame's not bent. I knew it wasn't, but this thing's been banged around. It's banged around on this front here, banged around here. This core support was all fucked up, and it was so bent up I couldn't really straighten it very good, so I had another core support and welded this section on in another video. So yeah, everything lined up good. Yeah, and this one's going to be a pain in the ass too, being bent up. But let's concentrate on this left side here and get all this stuff in there, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'll show you what I got going so far. I think this is where the fuse block is going to go, something like that. Should be just be below the hood. I could cut this little bracket here and slide it down a little bit more. It's real close to this brake line. I had to bend that back, and then I got the wires in here. Okay, I just got one bolt for the battery box so far. The battery will fit in here to here. I left enough room here and access to that bolt so we can move the front end a little bit. Okay, and I think the best spot for this computer is right there. And I think I'm just going to wrap it with bubble wrap. Wrap it with bubble wrap. Stick it up in here, and then it's tilted up like that, and zip tie this wire here and this wire here, and I think that'll be good. Yeah, somebody said, oh, make sure you put that computer underneath the dash. Yeah, well, for one thing, there ain't no room under the dash, and second, this wiring harness only goes from here to here. I'm not about to extend 2,000 wires to route it under there. It'll be good enough here. Wrap it with bubble wrap. I'm not sure if it lets off heat. You know, this is the little, in the truck it slides into this. I don't know. The only thing that can keep it from is grounding. That's why I was going to wrap it bubble wrap so it doesn't hit no metal. And I wasn't sure how that went, but I'm not going to use that. I got plenty of material. Wrap it, bubble wrap, zip tie it in there. I think it'll be good. Battery there. So yeah, I think that's it's coming along. Oh, and we got to make enough. Sure, we get enough room here for the hood hinge. Should be enough room there. I'm not quite done with all this wiring, and this is just kind of set on there. I trim that up. I might put a couple little screws or something there so we can keep that, and then we can pop that off like that. We'll have to have access, and then here's all the fuses. We'll have access to the starter, ignition, all that, and hopefully it's got, yeah, there's AC. We're gonna have to figure out the AC. Probably gonna have to wire into that to make a switch to turn it on and off. But anyway, that should protect it. I'll probably build a couple little L brackets or something from here to here. Tighten that in there real good. Tape up more of these wires. I still got to do these two wires to this here. We'll probably go along there, but now I got to extend that. Okay, so that's what I got so far. I got some little stuff in. These are some little power supply cigarette lighter things, and then these are ashtrays, and they're supposed to be deodorizers and lights. You open it up there and it all flashes lights. But there's a real ashtray, and you can stick it in a cup holder, or these little things here just come off, and I just stuck them in there. They stick on your vent, the little vent grills, so you can kind of stick it in an AC vent, heater vent, and have it hanging, or just stick it in a cup holder. So anyway, I got two of them. I'm just going to use one, but I got, you know, extra one. They're only, I don't know, $5 or something, pretty cheap. So anyway, yeah, I got them, and did I get, and then here's the real cigarette lighters. If you ever buy a cigarette lighter, looking for one, don't put in cigarette lighter 1968 or 69 Chevelle, because the ones that'll come up are like $65, and they're basically the same thing. These ones, I don't know, I think I put in universal cigarette lighter, and anyway, these came out, they're only like $7.99. And again, I bought two, so I got an extra cigarette lighter and an ashtray for another car. So anyway, I got all them. We'll mount them in the console somewhere and do that a little bit later. This thing here is taking half the day doing this. So yeah, let me get all this squared away. Battery mounted in there, and this wired, and all that stuff, and I'll be back. Okay guys, show you what I did yesterday. Got this fuse block mounted in best I could. I got two straps here holding it in. Had to cut through the plastic to push it down more, so the hood should close. We don't know yet since I ain't got a hood. But yeah, I got the battery in. I'm missing a real long 1/2-inch bolt for this to clamp it down. I got the I got this deal, I just don't have a long 1/2-inch. Okay, so we got everything in here. Computer's wrapped in bubble wrap behind the fender well. Got everything in except the cruise control. Figure out where I'm going to put that. Not a lot of choices. Could mount it on top of this or something, or I don't know. Got the hood hinges in. They fit good. Okay, I got this wheel well in here. This was the worst one trying to get in. But it's in where it's supposed to be. So now we can mount this in the right spot. Some grease on there. I'll try to move that over a little bit here. We'll mount this. Got the hood hinge on here. Got this AC line. It's coming along here, and then we got it running up here. Wherever I get that in the right spot, I'll have to wrap some rubber or something around there, but there ain't much I can do with that unless I just cut it off completely and do a rubber one or something. But this comes off. I just kind of stuck that on there. Then we'll have to mount this whatever it is, dryer accumulator, I don't know. We're gonna mount that in like that somehow. So anyway, that's what we got to do. So I'll be back when I get all this buttoned up, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, first thing I'm gonna do is mount the mounting deflector type thing for the cold air intake. Of course, this is for a Silverado, but we're gonna make it fit. So this is basically how it's set up. This is blocking off the engine, then this is to mount it up. Here's some instructions here. The two pieces. Okay, so, and they give you these little strips of rubber. So basically it sets up in there like that, and then this piece goes on with these three holes there. So it's in there something like that. We'll see if it fits. It may fit. We're gonna make it fit. Got the death wheel right there, the cutting wheel, so we'll cut it up if we have to. But anyway, I'll try this little jigsaw puzzle here and see if we can get her in there. I'll be back. Okay guys, this is what I got. This piece fit right in there. It's pretty close to the radiator, but might put a little rubber or something in there. But anyway, I just had to modify this piece here. It's got a bunch of holes in it from this, where the battery tray mounted to, and then the AC, and right there. So it's got not a lot of natural holes for fresh air to come in. Could I do it better and drill some more holes? I probably could perforate it all up there so a lot of maximum air gets in there, but I think it'll be all right. If it was full race car there, I'd really put some more in. But anyway, that's what I got in there. I got 3 screws here holding it in. Then these 3 factory type ones. So yeah, I'll just mount that back on there, and that should be it for that. Trying to figure out where to mount this. This oil dipstick was pointing right here, so I had to kind of bend that up. So we got that out of the way. I cut some more of this fan shroud off here, and I had the factory hose, my brand new hose, kind of pushed up over here, and as I was grinding, the hose flipped down and sliced it about halfway through. So I got to put my old one back on there. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just old. So anyway, yeah, I kind of screwed that up, but I wanted to get more room. It's going to be touching the radiator hose, but nothing you can do about it. It's this points right up to it, so there's no way of rerouting it or anything, unless I get into cutting and welding a different neck on there, and I'm not about to do any of that. So anyway, that's as far as I got now. I'll come back when I get the rest of this stuff on there. What you doing, Nikki? How you doing? Okay, guys. I went ahead and mounted the cruise control on top of this lid. I can take that, pop that lid and set it over here. It's got enough room and everything. Okay, here's the deflector housing thing here, and got this mounted with 3 brackets. Oh wait, I think I forgot to tighten out that one. Made that bracket there and a little spacer here. So that's all done. That's done. That side's done. And all I got left to do is the AC. So we got these 2 AC lines. One's from the condenser, one's from the compressor. And they hook into this. Or one of them hooks into this. And basically this is from the truck. So we're using everything from the truck except for this. Evaporator, I guess. And we're just going to tie into these 2 lines here. But I'm going to save this till later, because they're going to have to be specially made. They're going to have to be cut off, and I don't know who I can get to do that. Unless I can buy a kit and do it myself. I don't know, I might do that. So we'll save that till later. Won't need AC for a while. And I think that's it under the hood. Other than that. So, yeah, I guess we'll move on to something else now. This took a lot longer. It took most of the day for this side and yesterday on that side. Not 8 hours or nothing, probably 5 hours or so on each side. It's Nikki! Nikki! She comes right when I call her. Okay, so I think I'll end this video on that, guys. I think we're just gonna wrap up my console and get a hood. And other than the AC, I think it's all done. It's all ready for body work. So may have one more video and then start on the body work. I gotta go get that hood here pretty soon. So anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.